I need you. Okay, Vitucha, okay.
Are we back? Back? I see a back. I see backs, I see yays.
Nice,
refresh,
nice.
refresh. All right, well, as we've been standing here, our clone has been grace. We'll give it a 10-second grace period before we start again. He's sniping.
Anyone that gets close, the Wu clone just destroys.
Yeah, Wu clone. But speaking of Wu clone, he's also quite cordial.
Yes.
Oh no! Closer. Come on, buddy.
You saw nothing.
Come on, buddy. Yes! Endgame YouTubers are just uploading right away. So
Try about.
Yeah. Oh. No. I don't think
over the upper right.
I don't think we have the technology. Oh!
There you go.
Very good.
And that's really why we did all this.
Yeah, that was the real rework.
I know I tried to explain the whole poke thing wasn't working, but really it was all for this.
Yeah. Let's just get one handshake in here. Oh, there we go. All right, endgame achieved. All right, so where we last left our heroes, our Wukong was in the Void Tower, and he was showing his cloud speed. It has a healing property, and so far we haven't shown Defy or Iron Primal Fury.
Okay, let's find us a big cluster of enemies.
All right. Yes, when we last left our heroes, we were here. We were going from above, and we'll just hit a 3 and see what happens.
So with one guy, the way she used it right now is probably how you shouldn't use it.
Should not use it. Very important.
Because the Defy, basically, it returns damage dealt, and it gives you an armor bonus. And you can see the armor there. So in this case, it was a single enemy, and it gave you 400 armor. So that's not bad at all. It caps at 1,500, which is effectively... So he has 250 armor base, plus 1,500. That's about 85% damage reduction total. So basically, and your clone also gets it. So he's pretty tanky with that much armor, and as much health as he has. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are saying, "Hey, 85% is lower than the 90% that someone like Gara has or that Nesha has." But he also has healing in command, which they don't have, and he also has invulnerability in command, which they don't have. So basically, once you combine those things, it really leads to a lot of buffiness to not die.
Yeah. So there was a big Defy moment. I'm in a swarm of enemies. I'm immortal. You can see my damage ticking up at the top right, and then I hit him back with a little bit of a response there.
Yeah. So you get the 1,000 armor, and your clone also does it. So ideally, you go into a big clump of enemies with your clone too, because your clone catches up after you do the cloud. That was actually Rebecca's suggestion. So he teleports to you at the end of the cloud thing. Then you do the Defy, and then it's all the damage you accumulate with a multiplier, and then ×2 because both of you are doing it, and then you get all the extra armor. So like you can see there, it's like 1,000 armor. If I remember correctly, the current duration is like 24 seconds. So you don't need like a ton of mods. But for example, right now, if she did it like with no one attacking her, so that's 50 armor, right? So it really is up to like when do you do it to get it right. So why did we change the Defy? And I'm sure that's the main thing a lot of people are... I know that's the main thing that people are missing, the unkillable Wukong. It wasn't interactive at all. It literally was just like press 3 and then just stay sort of alive forever until every now and then go into a closet, turn it off, turn it back on, and that was about it. So that really didn't feel interactive. It didn't really synergize with anything else. So this gives us a way to make him really, really hard to kill, but at the same time making him require some skill, right? If you use the 3 at the wrong time, it's kind of useless and you just wasted your energy. But if you use it at the right time, you get 1,500 armor, so you're pretty tanky, and you can also heal anytime you want. So yeah, it is. That was the trade we did there.
Is he gonna take him out? Let's see. Get him with melee. Oh!
He felt it. He felt that one.
He did. So my health is down. I'm gonna cloud because I want to heal, and then let's see. I got rid of the ancient, so I'm happy to just kind of pop out. Does attacking still cancel the cloud?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So we're good.
Yeah, you can attack directly from cloud to break it. If that's just, it feels cool when you do the melee drop.
Yeah.
That's the one that feels the best. I'm gonna read up some questions because we were falling a little bit behind on things.
All right.
Will the clone's health be affected? Yeah, I explained that one. Will Wukong be able to do anything on his cloud? Just move. At this point, his clone continues to fight, but you are just able to move around. Then if you attack or you shoot, the cloud breaks. So that's up to you. So the main two uses that there are for like the cloud are mobility, because as you can see, it goes super fast. So sometimes when there's like a big gap or something, you can just use it to cross that. Or you can use it obviously for the defensive oh shit properties of like, oh, I'm dying, I need to like move away and then regen all my health. So those are the main two things. And spy, because while he's in the cloud, he doesn't trigger the lasers.
Get him, dude. Get him.
So that's a pretty good one for that. And then this is, for example, a good example of the limitations of AI, right? The little target is hard for him to nail with a bow.
Oh, I don't think it's just the limitations of AI. It's also the limitations of RI, Rebecca's intelligence. It's a double way.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
All right, we haven't used Primal Fury yet, so I think that's going to be my next takeout.
Is the slam affected by ability range? I think you might be talking about the Defy swing. It is. If you're talking about that one, it is. It's not exactly a slam, so I don't know if that. Oh, you maybe mean the one from the augment.
Yeah.
And it is affected by range.
Oh yeah, we haven't used that yet.
Yeah, you can just hold one.
Bam!
I like he uses the little staff.
Look at that! Oh yes! All right, let's do it, boy.
This is the one where you can see the animation.
Oh! Look at that! Look at him going in.
Yeah.
Let's get him.
He can be pretty devastating with that.
And that costs 25 energy per cast?
25 energy, yeah.
At base modding.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now what happens here, Pablo? Where a father meets his son.
Sean.
All right, go in, buddy. Go in.
Sean.
Go in. What? Pablo, explain yourself.
Wow, he's trying to stay away.
The AI has adapted to nullifier bubbles, and there is hope.
And I see Nicolasi just asked, how does the clone react to nullifiers? Well, you just saw it.
Hope you were watching.
Yeah.
So there's no enemies left per se, so using the...
we probably should go to like...
survival.
Maybe raise it up to a MOT and...
Pardon me?
Maybe go to MOT or something.
Yep, head to MOT.
How will Wukong interact with operator mode and arcanes like Magus Repair? That's a very interesting question that I don't know the answer to.
Well, the first question is how does the Spectre work? So
yeah, obviously you freeze, but I'm hoping that he freezes too, but I don't think he does.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Healing launches in 2 days. It's fine. We have plenty of time.
Does the clone shooting consume ammo? It's like AI, so it's infinite stuffs.
Infinite stuffs. Okay, should we be changing?
It's not exactly infinite because it does reload, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think we'll just stick with this build.
Also, from what you saw, he has a little bit of movement speed, so you can see he catches up to enemies pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll just stick with this.
Does the clone damage you with self-damaging weapons? He does not. I hope.
Would you like me to equip one and see what happens?
No, I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I think
we are on a test build stream if there was ever a time.
Will it be 100% clone, or can you customize the clone separately? It is a 100%. 100% clone or twin.
I see someone in chat saying, I'm very upset as a Rhino main, they stole my ability. So
pretty much, yeah, kind of.
But it takes an augment slot and it costs 25 energy, so I think...
And it does no damage.
It does no damage.
Well, it does like 100 damage or something that doesn't even scale. So it's like a no damage, lesser duration version of Stomp. Yes. But it is essentially that. Yeah.
Will we be able to deactivate the clone? Not?
Yeah, you can. If you don't have the augment on, you can press and hold the button for him to go away. There's not a lot of cases where you want to do that, but you can do that for if you're like doing a spy and you want the clone with you while you're going to the room, but you don't want him once you're in the room. You can turn him off that way. But if you have the augment, then the press and hold becomes a stomp. At that point, if you want to get rid of him, you gotta jump into a pit or something.
Yeah, so you gotta look for pits.
Look for the pits.
Look for the pits. All right, we're gonna head to MOT, and actually, maybe I'll change my Paris Prime. Just, that was one of my favorite weapons 4 years ago.
Something like that.
It's a good one.
I see someone asking, what form of Wukong? Yeah, we're trying to show you with not super beefy builds. For the most part, when I'm testing like I was doing ESO and stuff like that, I was doing with a zero forma build, couple slot mods, empty, You know, and with that, and not like super maximized and anything like that.
Yeah, this is-
And with that, you can perform pretty
This is
well.
a very entry level build. Let's
Entry build, let's do it.
one forma. Let's get a Grand Prime just to make things a little more.
Is Cloud Walker affected by movement speed bumps? It is not, but you'll see like it's about as fast. I don't think you'd want it faster.
Yeah, it's basically a Reeve that can go on the Z axis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also made it so like spacebar, like that doesn't work in the current live one. Spacebar rises, control lowers, so you got a little more control over the movement.
All right, we're heading to MOT, which is Tom backwards.
Today I learned.
I don't tell no lies on this stream.
Pablo, can we make the clone use secondary weapons instead of primary? Yes. If you switch to your secondary first and then you melee, he starts doing
that because I realized no one saw him with the Gurkata action. So
Okay.
if I got this on, and then we get our boy, and then I switch, there you go. Twin Gurkatas in hand.
Yeah, he'll
Sword
use
in hand. Twin Gurkatas in hand.
Yeah, whichever you're using, that's the one he'll use when you're using the melee. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense.
Yeah. Why is Tom so powerful though?
I saw someone asking if Cloud Walker triggers alarms. It does not trigger the door lasers and the trap lasers. Are any of these abilities affected by duration? They all are. Well, not his clone. His clone is infinite duration, but his Defy is, and you can interrupt it by pressing either E, melee, which is not active in this build, but it will be in the final one, or by pressing 3 again. So you have, so basically, the switch was more like
we might have a situation. Test build.
like an explosion.
What would it be? Test build. Test build. Oh, we lost it. I have to save this because this is.
Yeah, we gotta say this.
All right. Keep talking.
Yeah, so the duration does affect those two, but they're very short duration abilities that you can also interrupt. So it's up to you if you want to add like extra duration to those. You have a little more buffer. If not, then you're fine without those. Obviously, duration still affects the amount that the energy drain on Primal Fury, which we haven't really tested Primal Fury just yet, but we'll get to it. So Primal Fury, basically the changes to Primal Fury were, it's very interesting because it has the new melee combo style, and personally, I've always, yeah, okay, so this is kind of sad, but I'm kind of awful at the current way that we do combos. Like those pause combos, I'm awful at them. The pause combos are the press right trigger for one attack and then let go and all that. I personally, I mean, I know Rebecca is a pro gamer, but personally I'm terrible at them. So I'm really happy that this one is kind of devoid of that. So basically now there's sort of 4 routes.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
No, I was just going to say, yeah, this is something we loosely touched on last dev stream, which was the whole new combo philosophy being applied.
Right.
So this is the first piece of content to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, if you just spam E in place, if you use the melee in place, he'll do frontal attacks with a high damage multiplier. And that's meant to be for, I just came across a heavy gunner and I want to smack him to death. If you're pressing forward and spamming E, then he does big sweeping attacks that don't have that multiplier, but they're very good at clearing a lot of enemies around you. So if you imagine yourself playing with like a bunch of enemies in front, you're like smacking them around. And I don't know why I'm doing this.
You might not need to imagine it because I'm back in.
Okay.
So come on over, Helen. Let's rock and roll here. Yeah, you won't need to imagine it much longer, folks, because we're gonna demonstrate it.
We're doing this.
We're doing it live. First, we'll get out our buddy because cast it once and he's there for the party. And then yeah, we'll move forward and do those sweeps. Although
so you see that one, like she's doing like big sweeps that kind of hit a bunch of enemies in front. Those are very good at like clearing a lot of trash of the enemies, right? But then if she stops pressing forward and still presses E, then those have a high damage multiplier. So those are good for like, I'm clearing a bunch of enemies. I found myself now in front of a Rocketeer or whatever the hell those are called.
Bombard.
The Bombards. I like Rocketeer right now. And then, he's not dying to the big one, so I want to switch to the one with the multiplier so that does more damage in a smaller area.
Yeah, so yeah, you can really get a feel for it. I have primed Fury maxed on, so my attack speed is like ridiculously high. So for me, it's about acclimating to the new combo and figuring all that out. I've taken health damage, so I want to kind of get in a zone here, and I got both my buddies here, so we'll just do a full little sweep there. I got my looking good.
Yeah, so she gets like 1100 armor there, plus the base. Like that's a ton of resistance.
Yeah, and that's a flat. You already said that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's forward and E. And then you can also use aim to modify your attack. So if you use aim and forward, that is used to sort of close the gap. So you see an enemy 30 meters away, you press the thing, he'll do like a poke that sort of staggers them,
Yep.
and actually does a puncture too. And then he'll do that flying kick that you saw there. So that flying kick to sort of close the gap. So basically the way you're sort of playing when you're doing this is you're pressing forward and spamming E, which is probably what you do most of the time, killing things. Then you find a hard to kill enemy, you let go of forward, which happens sort of naturally.
Yep.
And then you sort of kill him. Then you see a guy that's far away, you press your right click, and then you sort of close the gap to him. So it is pretty good. It feels way more fluid to me. Again, I didn't do this thing, I just played it. Joe has been doing a lot of work on getting the new melee style, the new melee stuff working. For someone like myself, at least, that I didn't like the pause system and all that, this feels way better. And last but not least, if you just stand in place and hold the right trigger, he does like big AoEs. You'll see he stomps on the ground. So.
Oh, I'm gonna die. Immortal. There you go. I got my first immortality.
There you go. Yeah. The first proc of immortality.
I'm
you can
invisible.
see you're invisible for the next 30 seconds. So if with all the things, with like 1500 armor, ability to heal on demand, ability to be invulnerable on demand, if you die on top of that, there you go. You
Saved.
got 3 free get out of jail free cards.
We are saved.
Yeah. So there you go. That's a great demonstration there. Can you try Primal Fury and then just right click in place and spam me? Just to show.
Bam!
So spam it just so they can see the combo. So yeah, if you have that one, you do that combo. And right now she has a bleed proc, so she presses that and the bleed proc is gone. Your Defy will also remove procs, but it removes them at the end, so that if you have a bleed proc...
Did I just one-shot Vor with Defy? Oh, baby.
I can see that. So basically, the Defy keeps the proc so that any damage that comes from that bleed counts also for the reflecting.
Get rid of this stupid turret before it kills me.
Now let me read. We're going to use up a revive when the new passive activates. So I answered that one. It will. The Wukong passive will activate before you use a revive. Yeah. So no revives. Well, no pre-deaths before that.
Yeah, you just saw it in action. If anyone clipped it or wants to share with their friends, it did occur during the stream, so you can get a feel for it.
And as you saw, it's a random buff. So in this case, it was the invisibility one.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on his new passives? Will it be 3 charges per mission, or 3 per revive? No, it's 3 per mission. Wolf Claw. Do mods work against passive? They do not, and that's basically we haven't been doing anything that's duration based or power based. None of the passives have been affected by mods so far, so I definitely did not want to start with this one. And they're pretty powerful as they are. So, pots and pans. Is Cloudwalker affected by? Oh, I read that one. Not affected by movement speed buffs.
Nope. All right, I'm gonna target this dude. See what happens. We're both in. Oh, he's having a tough go at life here.
Our Wukong was a little far away.
Yeah, we got him. He's close now.
We got him. So, at the end of the day, so I think once you play this, you'll see that the AI is much better than the duality one. He is always trying to get to it. He had a lot of problems of like falling off world that we fixed. Like he has a lot of good stuff going for him. But at the end of the day, it is AI. So, it's not going to be as good as a Rebecca. So, you got to help him a little bit.
That's all right. All right. So we will extract and take some more questions from chat, and then we can send actually, if you're here, we're going to send the love to one of our Warframe partners after. So I think we've gone through every power. Is there anything else we want to go over? Or?
It's a little bit of cheese we gotta.
Oh yeah, you guys can join our cheese stream as well. So,
but I have another question here.
All right.
Is the fast armor buff going to be refreshable as Flame 055, or recastable, or do you have to wait until the ability runs out completely to use it again? You can use it again at any time you want, but the buff won't be refreshed. It will be overridden by your new one. So, let's say you got a 1500 armor one. Then you cannot just like press 3 while you're in a hallway with no enemies and refresh that 1500 armor one, right? You gotta do it at the proper time, but you can do it anytime you want.
Yeah, you have to think it's like Nyx's Absorb, but it only is as effective as what goes into it.
Yeah, I think they're asking because, for example, someone like Nesha, like
or
Rhino, you use a thing and you keep that until it runs out. Whereas in this one, since it's duration based, we didn't want it to be like, for you to be like super stressed of like, oh, it's about to go wrong, it's about to go wrong. We want you to look for opportunities to use it where you see like a bunch of enemies and you go like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get these guys. Okay, so what about the lock skin as Mean Martin?
Probably not this week.
The face.
Probably not this week. It's soon, TM, hopefully.
I don't know what the probably is, but surely not this week.
Surely not this week.
Okay.
So we'll give you a 40% chance of this week, maybe even 30% chance. So if you're in the meteorology industry, if you're watching Mr. Weatherwoman, Mr. Weatherman, Mrs. Weatherman Woman.
Can the clone use the Archon? There is no way for him to use the Archon, no.
Are you sure?
I don't think there is a way.
Are you certain? Because we can try. No. It's okay, Helen. We're not actually going to try.
Alarms. I have not tried that, but I imagine, I don't know what the Spectres do. Can Spectres trigger alarms? I'm not sure. Find out and let us know.
Find out and let us know. It's your job to find out.
That's how hit development works, right?
Yeah, exactly. Our first cheese for the Cheese of the Month Club, which this is our 4th edition, isn't it?
Our 4th edition?
Yeah.
Maybe.
We got our cheese here. It arrives via mail. The Blight